Hey, y'all. We are just going to give it a few while people get in on this. How's everyone doing? When you start jumping on in, let me know who's here, where you guys are calling in from. Okay, it's definitely working. What's going on? Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, everyone. Saturday night. Hold on, I'm going to put this little message in here. Let me know. I'm going to say dialing in because it makes me feel older. Let me know where you guys are dialing in from. Okay. Ontario, Canada. Welcome. Pin message. Okay. I like Ontario. Ontario's cool. I have to go see a Blue Jays game. Washington State. Oh, Bigger Red. Are you dialing in? I love that term. I don't know why. Kentucky. Cool. I think that UPS plane crash that just happened like 2 days ago was in Louisville, Kentucky. That's sad. Oh, I see. Born in Ontario. Hamilton. Okay. Gotcha. Guys, do you realize I was dialing in and I didn't even know the date. And today is May 23rd. And I asked my wife, I'm like, isn't today the Bonnie and Clyde anniversary death date? And in fact, it is. May 23rd, 1934, I think. Yeah, I should know that. 92 years ago today is the Bonnie and Clyde death date anniversary. Y'all know I cover a lot of that on my channel. Bigger Red, fellow Texan. I wonder if anyone else is watching is from Texas. Or my old home state of Pennsylvania. So anyway, thank you guys so much for jumping in and joining a Saturday night live stream. You know, I always try to do one live stream per month. It's usually at the end of the month to kind of recap and tell you guys what's coming up. And last month we didn't do one because I was in Los Angeles like that last week. And then next thing you know, we got back and it was like May 3rd, I think. And I'm like, oh crap, I didn't do a live stream in April. So we shall just continue on. So yeah, I'm taking today off. I always post Saturday nights at 5:00, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a live stream instead, but I'll let you guys know what video I have coming out next Saturday. I actually was out filming today in downtown Dallas, so I got that video done, and we'll talk about that too. It was a museum type of place, and it's actually pretty cool. Sad but cool. All right. Oh, Shelly's from Livingston, Texas. Okay, so cool. Some Texas peeps. Oklahoma. I have quite a few videos in Oklahoma. Alrighty, so y'all, what is going on? Let me see. I have my usual list of stuff I want to talk about. I will go back and forth between talking with that stuff and checking out the comments. So I will try to read everyone's comments. Some updates. We just got back from our week and a half trip in Los Angeles. It was very much a working trip for me. but I brought my wife and my baby girl with me. So we were hoping it would be more like working/family trip, but it wasn't, because it was mainly just a working trip, and it was kind of hard and a lot. But we stayed in Burbank, which is just outside of Los Angeles, and I got some really good, exciting stuff coming up. You guys have already seen two of the videos. They were out the last 2 weeks: the Burt Reynolds grave and the Ricky Nelson grave in the plane crash. So those are just kind of quick videos I put together and did that. But the main reason why I was going there is because I filmed an 8-part series that is called Too Young to Die. I've talked about it in past live streams. I know my members, some of you are here tonight, know about that, but it's an 8-part, basically a documentary series. And I'm very excited for it. It's people who all high-level celebrities who all died younger than 40 years old. And I went to, my only rule was I have to be able to go to not only their grave, but the location where they died. And I also try to get to other locations that were in Los Angeles that are relevant to them. So I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but I will say that will be coming out in July. It's going to run for 8 weeks straight. And the reason I'm waiting till July is because I only have 2 videos edited and done out of the 8. So I got to do 6 more. Plus I have videos, like I just filmed one today. I have videos that I have to edit, and it's a lot. Especially when you have a 17-month-old baby girl who's like a crazy girl running around the house, keeping me busy all the time. So yeah, it's kind of fun. I'm sure if there's parents out there, y'all know what I mean. Let's see. Question: does anyone who's watching, anyone have any guesses of who might be in the series? Feel free to jump in. Let me see. Like I said, high-level celebrities, mostly actors, actresses. There's a few musicians, but they died younger than 40. Speaking of 40, oh my gosh, I'm not a huge NASCAR fan, but did you guys just see Kyle Busch just died? And I think he was 42. I don't know. I could be wrong. Somebody will let me know in the comments, but I'm waiting to see what of. They're just saying like a strange illness. Oh, thank you, Leanne. 41. I was close. Yeah, that was so weird. I've been to quite a few NASCAR races where I lived in Pennsylvania. We were actually like 30 minutes from the Pocono racetrack. And I never really cared for Kyle Busch. But, it still sucks. It's very sad. He died from severe pneumonia and sepsis. Wow. That's just creepy because, he was racing. Like he was, I saw something. They said the last weekend's race or whatever, he was like in the car driving and he said, have a doctor ready for me when the race ends, so that was crazy. James Dean, good guess. Peace in the World 7, but no, not James Dean. Not in this series anyway. I will do his stuff. The thing with him, he would have been in the series, but since his crash site is in California, but he's buried in Indiana, and I don't know when I'm going to get to Indiana. I've been there quite a few times in the past. Actually, my brother-in-law is a Notre Dame alumni. So like we would always go out to South Bend, Indiana for games and stuff. But that is why he's not in there, because I got to get to his grave to do that. Bigger Red, Marilyn Monroe. Yes. I think you knew that. You did know that. Okay. Yes. So Marilyn Monroe is going to be my series opener, because I say in the video, I say I'm starting with Marilyn Monroe because to me, she is just the ultimate queen of old Hollywood. And that's why we're starting with her. Kurt Cobain. No, he's not in the series. I've been to, if anybody's interested, I've been to it's in a video, Kurt Cobain's house, the motel where he would go do bad stuff in, if you know what I mean. Naomi from Louisiana, welcome. Charles NYE, 1736. Carl Switzer, you are correct, sir. Carl Switzer is going to be episode number 7. I have a story too about Carl Switzer's grave. Actually, I can talk about it right now. I got my tea. It was a long day. We were trying to, since we have like a 3-day weekend, since Monday's Memorial Day, we were trying to do a bunch of house stuff and this and that all day. And then like we drove into downtown Dallas and we toured the museum and I filmed and this and that. We came back, had to make dinner, and now I'm doing this. So we are rocking, excuse me, with some green tea. Ah. You know, Heath Ledger, I think he's buried in the UK, I'm pretty sure. He's on my list, though. If he has a public grave. Series is going to be great. Naomi says Paul Walker. Yes, he's also in the series. He's episode number 2. His video, I finished his video, and you know how I know it was really good is because my parents were just down here for a week and I had them watch my Paul Walker like completely done edited video, and my mother was like getting tears at the end. And she said, "Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry." And I was like, that's how you know it's a good video, in my opinion. So anyway, good guesses, guys. You can keep going with that if you want to. So let me see. I wanted to talk about when I was in Los Angeles. I said somebody said, you know, they liked the Burt Reynolds video. Thank you very much. When I was filming that, so Burt Reynolds is buried in one of the most famous cemeteries in the United States, if not the most famous, Hollywood Forever Cemetery. It's in downtown Los Angeles. And I was filming him and like no problems. Like I went in, this specific cemetery, you have to go through a gate with a guard there. And they basically ask you, what are, like straight up, what are you doing here? And I told them, I said, I'm on vacation. I'm going to see some famous graves. And he said, okay, go ahead. No issues. Now, with that being said, I've heard, so I've been doing YouTube for a while, right? And I've got to know people and become friends with people in my niche, because we a lot of us do the same stuff or similar. And I've heard a few different things about Hollywood Forever Cemetery. I've heard stories of people getting kicked out. I've had people saying you're not allowed to film or that. And at the same time, I've heard from people who said, I have filmed there for years and have no issues. So with all that in mind, I was like, okay, we're just going to see how this goes. I'm going to play it low key. So day one or whatever of filming in Hollywood Forever Cemetery, Burt Reynolds' grave, I'm like right by the water and the outdoor mausoleum and in the open filming for like an hour and no issues, absolutely none. There's people working, going by, nothing, no issues. I'm like, okay, that was easy. Then comes day number 2. So day number 2, I go back and I'm filming Carl Switzer. Charles, thank you for bringing him up. So my goal that day is to film episode number 7, the grave of Carl Switzer. And he's like in the middle of the cemetery, not super close by the entrance, but not like where all the big like Burt Reynolds, the Pee Wee Herman guy, Chris Cornell, Johnny Ramone statue. He's not back in like that famous area. He's kind of like in a woodsy part. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be easy. There's going to be nobody here. I kid you not. I pull in my car, I get out, and I'm like filming like this, right? My camera, and I'm filming myself getting out of the car, shutting the door, and walking towards. And within 5 seconds, security comes up in this little golf cart. And I'm just like, oh shit, here we go. And he is just, I don't want to say anything mean about him. He's doing his job and he's just being very stern. And he's like, hey, you can't film here. Do you have permission to film? I'm like, permission? Like, no. Well, you can't film here. You can't. And he just kept going like, you need permission or you're out. And I'm just like, I told him, I said, well, I filmed here yesterday for like an hour. Nobody had any problems. And I said, I have friends who film here like all the time and they don't have any problems. So I don't understand what's the big deal. And he says, this is what he said. He said, this is actually one of the reasons why we're hired is to keep people like you out and like not filming. So I'm like, wow, okay. And then he was still like being an ass about it. And he said, what are you even filming for? And I said, this is what I do. Like this, I'm filming for my YouTube channel. And he looks at me like something. And he says, so let me get straight. You're filming somebody's private cemetery to put it on the internet for people to see. I said, yeah, that's what I do. And he's like, well, you need permission. You need permission. He's like, go to the office. So I'm like, okay. So I'm beyond PO'd at this point. And then I got to go, and I don't know what building it is because there's like 3 different big buildings there. And I go up, there's nowhere to park because there's an actual funeral like going on. So then I go back and find him, and I said, what building is it? He's like, that one right there. So I go back. I walk in the office, and I tell the girl at the desk, I say, I was told by security I need permission to film Carl Switzer's grave. And keep in mind, he died years ago. I originally thought I needed a family member's permission, and I'm like, how am I going to get that? And the girl tells me, she says, you need the owner's permission. I said, like the owner of the cemetery? And she said, yeah, you need the owner of the Hollywood Forever Cemetery's permission to film anything in here. So I'm like, oh, great. And then she hands me his card and she said, here's his card. He's not in today. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, you can email him, come back tomorrow. And I'm just thinking like, this is going to screw everything up. I'm going to have to switch my 8-part series to a 7-part series. And long story short, I know I'm just dragging this on forever. I'm walking out and I'm like, I'm going to call this guy. And just by his name, I can tell he's an Asian guy. So I'm like, I'm just going to call him. I call him. I leave him a voicemail. I'm very polite. And I say, hey, my name's Nick. I'm here to film the grave of Carl Switzer for my YouTube channel. It's not like big production commercials, anything. I'm asking for permission. And he gets back. Well, I get to my car and I literally start driving out of the cemetery, and he calls me back, and he says, he straight up, he just says, "How long are you gonna be there filming?" And I said, like 20 minutes max. And he says, "Go ahead and film." And I'm like, holy cow, this is friggin' awesome. I have the owner of Hollywood Forever Cemetery's permission to film here. So then it was nice. So then I went back to that security guard and I told him, like, "Hey man, I got permission." And it's just funny. And like I said, I don't want to talk bad about him because he's doing his job. But then it's like a light switch. Like then he became like the nicest guy. And we talked for like 15 minutes. And he was like looking at my channel and he's asking me like, where's the scariest place you've ever been to? And I was talking about this and we were just talking. He's like, "Oh, have you ever been to this grave?" And this and that. So it's like a light switch. He was like the coolest dude then once I had permission. But then it was cool because then I spent like a good hour there getting all my shots and this and that. And I was getting some other B-roll for some other stuff. And yeah, so that's Hollywood Forever Cemetery. So if there's any other YouTubers out there watching or will watch this at the beginning, it could be difficult to film there. So, hey Charles, do you know? I think we talked about this last time. You said Tunkhannock. Do you know I'm originally from the Hazleton area in Pennsylvania? And you know what's funny? I played football in high school, and I think we were playing. I think it was Tunkhannock. We were playing Tunkhannock at Tunkhannock, and I broke this pinky right there. And then they put this huge like cast on me, even though it was just my pinky. The cast came down to like here. Oh, okay, yeah. See, yeah, I remember like it was yesterday. I was a wide receiver and I was doing like a slant route and the quarterback threw the ball like too far behind me and the ball hit directly my pinky and went in. And that was that. Okay, I just want to say I'm thankful for y'all if you watch the Ricky Nelson video because that seems to be doing pretty good. I didn't know how it was going to do because like I know who Ricky Nelson is, but I don't know how much everyone else y'all know Ricky Nelson. So I was like, I don't know how it's going to do. But I think we're like past 22 or 23,000 views in a week. So thank you all so much for that. Mm-hmm. Funny thing about that video. So the Ricky Nelson thing, if you haven't watched it, I went to see his grave in Los Angeles. And then I went to his plane crash site, which is in Texas, but it's East Texas. So like 3 hours from me. So the plane crash site I filmed last October. I think it was October because I was coming back from Hot Springs, Arkansas. And I was like, I'm just going to stop here on the way. But that's sometimes how it goes. Like I filmed that last October and then I just had that footage and I had to wait because I was like, I know I'm going to get to Los Angeles like next spring. So yeah, that may be why, I think it was, I was wearing like shorts and a t-shirt in Los Angeles. And then I was wearing winter clothes in Texas at the plane crash site. What's she doing? Oh, my baby girl is watching me.
She just keeps saying dada.
Nicole says she keeps saying dada. Hi, big girl. Yeah, that's basically all I had for Los Angeles. I got some cool stuff. Man, the only other thing I'll say is everybody's asked, well, not everybody, but there's been a lot of people who have asked me since we've been back or since we were there, like, is the traffic in Los Angeles really that bad? And, this and that. And I said, I've driven in worse places, but they're not kidding at all when they say it will take you an hour to go like 8, 9, 10 miles. That's 100% true. And it sucked a lot of the times. I was driving through the Hollywood Hills for some stuff, and it was something else. Sorry, I'm falling behind on the comments. I did not end up in jail. Yes, Charles, I mentioned that right as soon as I started the call. Today is 92 years ago today, Bonnie and Clyde were ambushed. Thank you very much, Clint. I am glad you found the channel. That was a cool place. The owner of Clint's talking about when I stayed at the Bonnie and Clyde Shootout Garage apartment. The owner said I was such a good guest, I can come back and stay there anytime. So there may be a part 2, maybe like 4 or 5 years from now. I don't know. That's funny. Bigger Red, you are a funny guy. Okay, let's see. Trip coming up in about 2.5 weeks. I am flying to DC. I'm staying there for 8 or 9 days, and I'm just gonna film a ton of videos. I think I got maybe like 15 that I'm gonna film, and it's gonna be all in DC. I'm gonna spend a day in Baltimore. I'm gonna spend a few days driving around Virginia, all about that, and it should be fun. There's some sites, like I toured George Washington's house of Mount Vernon years ago, and it was actually, that's one of like my first videos ever, like 5 years ago, and it's a crappy video. So I really want to do like a video. I want to go back there because I loved it so much, but I also want to make like a good, like, okay, here's George Washington's house. This is where he died. This is how he died, what happened, and here's his tomb where he lays to rest today. So that's what I want to do. I'm also going to go to like Thomas Jefferson's house, and I have some stuff that has been rarely covered before. And then I have a few things that no one has done on YouTube yet. And I don't want to tell you that because I don't want anybody to get any ideas. So it's all very exciting stuff. Even there's some subscribers of mine that always ask me like to do haunted stuff, and like I'll always say I'm not a paranormal channel. I don't go hunt ghosts and this and that. But there is a video I'm doing that's related to The Exorcist, or the inspiration for the Exorcist movie, the 1973-74 movie, The Exorcist. Multiple locations in that one. That's going to be pretty cool. There's so much history in DC. Yeah, I'm going to try and go to a Nationals baseball game too. And I'm excited about this. I don't think anyone has done this on YouTube either. But I'll tell you this one because it's already halfway done. I'm doing a video on Bobby Kennedy. I've done a lot of videos on JFK, done a lot of Oswald videos because I live in Dallas. So, you know, but I'm doing a video on Bobby Kennedy because he's buried in Arlington National Cemetery right by JFK. But I managed to get to the location in Los Angeles where he died, assassinated at the Ambassador Hotel. So that was another one. I filmed half of it there. It's patiently sitting for me to work on later, and I'm going to film the other half when I go on this trip into DC. So that one should be out sooner rather than later, I think. I may do that one around 4th of July just because, Kennedy's and 4th of July kind of mixes, if you know what I mean. Okay, so today, I'll tell you what I went and filmed today. I like to kind of mix things up a little bit. I film famous graves, obviously. That's the majority of my channel. I film dark history locations like, the JFK stuff, or I have quite a few Waco videos and this and that. But if it fits with my channel, I like to film museums, and it has to be right. I'm not just going to go film, a Pokemon museum. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. So anyway, there's a Holocaust museum in Dallas, and my wife, I don't want to say is fascinated by it because that's not the right word, but she, the Diary of Anne Frank that was turned into a book. She has read that multiple times and she enjoys it and was very interested to see that. And so anyway, we went there today, and it was actually a really cool, really nice, obviously sad exhibit because my favorite thing when I do museum tours is I like to see actual objects. I knew there was going to be actual clothes, behind glass, and there's shoes that people like in the camps wore, and there's like the box car that the Jews were like transported in, and like I wanted to see that. So anyway, I went and filmed that video today. I'm actually going to edit that tonight. It should be a very quick edit for me. So I'm probably going to have that video out, I think, in 2 weeks. So you guys will see that then. Next week, I just got it done. I didn't know. That's why I didn't want to post a video tonight. I didn't know if I was going to finish this or not, but I just finished it this morning. It is the death site and grave of Jani Lane from the 80s rock band Warrant. Now that's okay. Some people, even my parents grew up in the 80s. Like, well, they were older. But they're both like, who the heck is Jani Lane? And I said, you know the band Warrant? And they're like, no. I said, okay. Do you know the song Cherry Pie? She's my cherry pie. They're like, oh yeah, I know that song. I'm like, the guy who sings that is the guy who I went to his grave and where he died. So that video is going to come out next week. That was another one. He died in Los Angeles at this place that's not a hotel anymore, but the building's still there. And then funny enough, his grave is like right around me. I know there's some Texas people here. Jay Palmer, hey from DFW too. There you go. Do you know Jani Lane, lead singer of the 80s rock band Warrant, is buried in Euless, Texas, not far from me at all. So anyway, I went to film his grave, and that video will be out next Saturday to end the month of May. Yeah. Otherwise, what else did I want to say? Personal stuff that's just for fun. I know a lot of people ask like how my daughter is and this and that. I have a baby girl. She's 17 months old. She just had her first dentist appointment. She has 10 teeth. Can't believe it. It's getting so big, so fast. Otherwise, we had some hail last night. I know I'm not going to talk about the weather, but we had some weird Texas storms last night. We had like, I don't know, almost quarter size hail hitting the house, and that's just never fun. Bigger Red, did you have any hail over your way last night? Let me know. Leanne, I enjoy hockey. It's weird. Being from Pennsylvania, I would say I've always grown up a Flyers fan. But the last few years, I've really liked the Seattle Kraken. Funny enough, I don't know why. I love Seattle, and I just love the colors. So I have been watching. Well, not when they're in season, but the playoffs. No, I'm like in full blown baseball mode now. So that's my sport. Anyone have any questions or any ideas? Actually, here's a question for y'all. I'll probably ask this in future live streams too, because why not? So I told you, I don't know if anybody jumped on recently that missed this from earlier, but I have an 8-part series coming out this summer that's Too Young to Die, celebrities who died younger than 40. I will be probably filming a different series next year. If anybody has any ideas for a series, let me know. I want it to be 5, 6, 7, 8 parts again. It could be, and I'm just throwing this out, it could be, celebrities who died 50 years or younger, So I was already kind of thinking, like, what could I do next year? Oh, nice. That's cool. J. Edgar Hoover. Is he buried in New York, I want to say? I don't know where he's buried. Let me know. There's some other graves too in DC. Oh, you know what I think I'm going to do? So here's the thing. So I'm spending an entire day at Arlington National Cemetery. And I want to there's two. I have to film the other half of the Bobby Kennedy video. And I'm trying to get 2 more. There's another video I don't want to tell you guys yet because that one's kind of a surprise for a certain time of year. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I was trying to think of another video. And I think what I'm going to do is just like a straight up famous graves in Arlington National Cemetery. Because there's quite a few. Obviously, there's the Kennedys. There's quite a few Kennedys there, actually. But then there's other people too, and like Abraham Lincoln's oldest son is buried there, and it just goes on. The thing is, with Arlington National Cemetery, I believe it's like 600 acres. And even though I'm going to be there all day, it takes you, like if you put from like the entrance in Google Maps walking to like the other part, it's like an hour and 50-minute walk to here, and then another 45-minute walk to there, and these people's graves are all spread out, and I'm like, how am I gonna do this? So we'll see how that goes. But I think I'm gonna I don't. So if you've been watching previous videos, I'm making these more of like mini movies, like mini production type of stuff, rather than just like taking a camera and going and shooting. But I do think if I do a famous graves in Arlington National Cemetery, it's just going to be like walk, show the grave, talk 1 to 2 minutes about them, move on to the next one, because I'm going to be walking the entire day. Oh, Congressional Cemetery, DC. I don't know if I'm going to get there. Congressional Cemetery, DC. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get there. I don't know if I'm going to have time. But I was definitely wrong about New York. I thought maybe he was buried in New York. Is anybody doing anything fun for Memorial Day this weekend? It's interesting. I'm talking about Arlington National Cemetery, and in 2 days it's Memorial Day weekend. We are not actually. Funny enough, my wife and my anniversary is Monday. Dear, how many years? She's not there. 7. We'll be married 7 years, but together for like 16. Yeah, we a lot of people remember Nicole. Nicole used to be in a lot of my videos before baby girl arrived, and yeah, we're high school sweethearts, so it's been a long time. Thank you. She didn't even hear me. I don't know what she's doing. Maybe she's giving her a bath or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's 7 years though. It'll be Monday. I don't think I had anything else. I appreciate the views. I'm getting to be like pretty good friends with a few guys in my niche. If you follow, I'll just name some of them. Scott from Scott on Tape, me and him are going to be pretty good buddies. I think we're gonna try and film together when we go to Los Angeles. So I'm going back there in October, November. He's going back there around the same time. So we're trying to coordinate so we can both be out there at the same time and film that. Another person who is in my niche too, Scott Michaels with Dearly Departed Tours. He lives out that way, and I was just talking to him yesterday, so I'm going to let him know what dates will be out there. So I don't know. If we're lucky, maybe all 3 of us can do something together. That would be pretty fun. Another guy, Frazel Productions. He does a lot of famous graves and stuff too. We were talking about doing some filming or whatever. So a lot of good possibilities, and I'm excited to see about doing some stuff with them. Yeah, I was. I dropped in on his Scott's live stream last night. He usually does like 1 a week. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Actually, you know what? I'll say this. I'll say this last thing, and then I'm probably gonna get going. But I'm making a video on Janis Joplin, and I go to the hotel where she died in Los Angeles. And from what I've heard, and like what Scott told me too, is, just the owner, from this is what they all say. The owner is a big fan of Janis. If you're polite and you go in, as long as the room's not occupied, he'll take you to the room Janis Joplin died in. So I'm making this whole video on her, and that's the last place to go. And I get there, and it looks weird on the outside. Like the building still looks the exact same, but there's like weird stuff like over the windows and the cardboard. And like, I knew where her room was. It was in the front of the building. And I'm like, oh, that looks kind of weird. My wife's like, yeah, that looks like creepy. So lo and behold, I go to the front door. It's locked. So then I'm knocking on the door, and then a security guy comes up to the door, and he doesn't even open all the way. He like opens it. It's like his head just peeks out, and he's telling, "What do you want?" And I just said, I'm here to see if it's possible to see the room that Janis Joplin died. And he tells me, he says, this is not a hotel anymore. This is a homeless shelter. I said, what? He's like, yeah. And I said, since when? And he said, years. And I said, well, that's not true because I have a buddy that was just filming in here like a couple of years ago. He said, well, it's been a homeless shelter for like 4 or 5 years now. So I'm like, okay, that is weird. So unfortunately, it's basically going to be impossible for anyone, including myself or on YouTube, to get into the hotel where Janis Joplin died anymore. So, so anyway, I was leaving and I called Scott and I said, dude, the hotel, it's not a hotel anymore. And he's like, what? And I said, yeah, it's a homeless shelter now. He's like, what? You know? So anyway, he's going to be nice enough to let me use some of his footage in my future video because he got inside there. So super nice about that. Very nice guy. All righty. Because that would be a lie, Big Red. It's not. All right, y'all. Does anyone have any questions? I do appreciate y'all so much for joining me on this Saturday night. You didn't have to, but you came here anyway, and it means a lot to me. I also want to thank, I've seen a few of my members here tonight. Members, thank you as always. If anyone, I'm going to do my little self-promote thing. If anyone is interested in becoming a Beyond the Grave member on my channel, YouTube makes it very easy now. Just click the join button. Boom, you're in the club, as some people will say. But members, thank you. Everyone else, thank you. What is your favorite grave site? I appreciate your question. Gosh, tough. Maybe, probably Elvis Presley, if I have to be honest, because I've always been, since I was 9, 10 years old, just huge Elvis fan. I still am. So I would say Elvis Presley's grave at Graceland is probably my favorite and will be my all-time favorite. I'm trying to think of anybody else. There's some cool ones that I saw in Los Angeles that I don't want to dive too far into because I don't want to give, spoilers away and this and that. Thank you guys so much. Your comments mean a lot. Makes me happy. Makes me very happy. My mom, I don't think I told you guys this. My mom usually joins these live streams. She texted me tonight. She's like, I'm sorry, Nick, I'm not going to be able to join your live stream. Your brother and his wife and the babies are coming over for dinner tonight. So with that being said, I only have one sibling. He's my younger brother. His name is Michael. He's like 2.5 years younger than me. He just had twins about a month ago and change. It's his first kids. I thought we had a lot. She's crying in the background. I thought we had a lot with one, but he has twins, a boy and a girl. So she's looking at me. Sorry, I'm trying to go through the comments. Leanne, sorry to hear about your mom. That's sad that she never got there, but it's a beautiful place. It's so 100% true. When as soon as you walk in the Graceland doors, you just like feel Elvis Presley's presence everywhere. I think a lot of it has to do with like the old like smell. Like it almost smells like vinyl records inside. And so you just feel like he's there, and it is the coolest thing. Luxor, glad to have you from Austria. I almost said Australia. Austria, glad you found my channel. Thank you very much. Old farmer from Iowa. Have I been? I've been to, yeah, I've been to Iowa. Sioux City, Iowa, years ago. There's a few other things I want to film in Iowa. Dexter, Iowa, that's it. Where Bonnie and Clyde related. Blanche was caught, Buck Barrow died. So I need to get to Iowa eventually. Oh man, yeah, that's the Ben Elvis's grandson death. That was very sad. All right, y'all. I could keep talking. I'm not even joking, but my wife has called me, and we have to give baby girl a bath. Well, tub. She calls in, then we put her to bed. So I hate to leave you because I could keep going, but it is what it is. So that's what you do when you have a baby girl, just a baby in general. Thank you guys so much. Have a good Memorial Day weekend. I will see you all next Saturday's video, and I just appreciate you. Thank you all so much for joining, and peace, guys. I will see you soon.